Gideon, true soldier, bossy fire plan. In a Suriname, real Batman, still carry on. Tell them what them say me are the champion. I must say me get me teachings. Trying to right with my foot, I get the bleaching back. Real Batman, still carry on. Tell them what them say me are the champion. Are you gonna burn? Real Batman, are you gonna burn? And the man proof me. Are you gonna burn? Real Batman, are you gonna burn? And the man proof me. What's again? 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 Real man, so what's again? Bad, 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 bad. And the man proof me. Bad, 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 bad. Are you gonna burn? And the man proof me.
that concerns you guys?
How can you not know?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Halcyon Elite League Autumn Season. I am DZ, your host, and one of the minds behind Halcyon Elite. At Halcyon Elite, we strive to bring Vainglory players all the statistics they need in order to improve their gameplay and understand what it takes to be the best on the Halcyon fold. Today, we kick off a month-long tournament featuring 16 of the top teams in North America in Vainglory to play for a $5,000 prize pool. These 16 teams will be split into two conferences, the Githian and the Stormguard. Within the conferences, there will be two divisions of 4 teams. In the Githian conference, we have the Nether division featuring Team Solo Mid, the Kardashians, Vision Gaming, and Infinity Forge. In the Light division, we have Rogue, Nova Esports, Echo Fox, and NRG. In the Stormguard conference, we have the Sword division with Cloud9, Misfits, Temple Storm, and Gangstars. And last but not least, the Shield division will consist of Tribe Gaming, Hollywood Hammers, Necrolight, and the Enforcers. For the coming 3 weeks, these conferences will be participating in a round-robin format. By the end of the week of 3, the top team in each division will advance into the playoffs. As for the remaining 12 teams, the 4 top performing teams will fill out the rest of the Halcyon Elite 8. We will be conducting double band draft phases throughout the entirety of the tournament. The featured matches for tonight will be Rogue versus Vision Gaming, then Team Solo Mid versus Kardashians, and we finish the night off with Cloud9 versus Temple Storm. Now let's introduce the 2 teams that will kick off the Halcyon Elite League autumn season. Starting with the blue side, we have Rogue. Currently, they are the leader in the point standings for VG8. In the lane, we have Hammy, who has been carrying his team to victory the entire autumn season. Sibs will be subbing in for Pond the Original tonight in the jungle, and Evil will be the captain. Although Sibs is subbing in, this is a roster that is very familiar with each other. They have plenty of synergy together, and they're going to they were able to win at least 3rd place in VG8 last weekend. They will be playing Vision Gaming. Last split in the VIS Challengers, they took 2nd place, and they have just made it into the playoffs once again as the undefeated number 2 seed. In the lane, we have PvP Trinity, who has trademarked so many carries in his lane. So many times he has an amazing Crystal Idris, he has a Glaive, and he's able to take care of that lane. We'll see how he matches up well with Hammy. Captain in place of Shaded Talent. He has shown that he can play just about any hero on a competitive level. Moving on to the jungle, for the sub will be Tivo, who, although has a lack of experience in the competitive scene, is not a stranger to playing with PvP and COS. It is time that I introduce you to our most talented casters, Denomine and Humanist. Their lovely voices will be walking us through the matches of Rogue and Vision Gaming. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to be here. It's exciting. We've got a little competition on our hands, and it's always a pleasure to be casting alongside Denomine.
Oh, likewise, Humanists. Definitely always bring the hype you do, so it's always exciting to work with you.
Absolutely. I just saw the stream pop up. You're looking fresh tonight, DZ.
Thank you very much. I had to pull out the best I could. Okay. So what are your thoughts on the 2 teams tonight?
I like coming into this. I mean, Rogue, obviously a powerhouse right now. They've been playing incredibly well. Last week, VG8, even with Sibs, they made it to the finals. And I don't mean it like with Sibs. I'm just, saying because he's not on the starting roster. But I think Sibs played really good. Rogue's incredibly strong. I don't know as much about Vision, but I know that they are a strong squad, and those are pretty legit players.
Yeah, I happen to also be the coach for Vision Gaming as well. I know them very well, but they're going to be able to compete pretty well when it comes to the playoffs in the coming few days at the VIS Challengers. And hopefully we'll make sure we get in. Okay, let's see. Let's get ready and to get this draft on the way. We're still gathering everyone up in the teams here.
I see we got Sibs in the party, ready to go here. Sibs
Right on.
feeling good, feeling great.
And what do you think about the meta in 2.9 right now? I feel like it's such a balanced. It's so balanced that you'll see so many different heroes picked out.
It's pretty balanced. I think there's a lot of power picks right now that are pretty obvious, but a lot of it comes down to just those heroes that happen to have a lot of durability and also burst damage as well. That's why we see a lot of like Rhyme doing really well, Blackfeather, Kroll, all great picks right now. Kestrel, not as durable, but obviously like elusive with the active camo and just huge burst damage. So especially with these teams, probably see some of that. We could see some Saw coming out in this matchup as well.
Yeah, Saw's gonna be a very strong pick, just because he can counter so many different different meta picks right now. If you have like maybe a Kestrel, you have a Blackfeather, he'll be able to win out early game, and I think that's gonna be huge. Okay, and it looks like we're about to enter the draft pretty soon. Okay. But while we wait for that, let's talk about Hammy. I mean, he's definitely one of the top players right now in this game. He is the player to watch.
Player to watch. Dang.
Yeah.
Hammy's been playing like a beast. And I don't he's like I don't know, just from my perspective, I haven't seen him as one of those players that just like destroys a game to the point where it's like all you can talk about is Hammy, Hammy, Hammy. But like he's consistently always performing well.
I feel like if you can bring out a Saw in VG8 or high competitive games and win with it, I think that's something to take note of, and that's definitely something that we're expecting to see, maybe.
So you know the whole plan here, huh?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I try my best to give my players as much information as possible, but so what? Let's see. Let's take a look at the status on the draft right now. Okay. Rogue versus Vision. Okay. We're still waiting on the draft, it looks like.
It's all just getting ready, building the hype, the anticipation.
Let's see. If you look at the stats sheet over there, when you have a Hammy there, he has a kill participation of almost 90, and that's actually pretty good. 90% of the time, if you're responsible for a kill, that's going to be huge. I mean, that means the team needs you to get those kills, and Hammy is a player who can actually bring that out for his team. But I also want to take note of Evol as well. He's definitely one of the premier captains in the league. Mechanically, he's got everything he needs to be able to go in and win the game and keep Hammy alive.
Yeah. I feel like Evil could be
draft
inserted
begins.
onto like any top team in North America and probably just pick up where the other guy left off.
I agree. I easily agree. I mean, he's been dubbed by most other players as the mini Flash X, and I do agree he can definitely play a strong team. Okay, let's see. And now we are in the draft. Let's go. I think in this meta, top bans you're always going to see are going to be Reem, Black Feather. Those are the main two, at least in solo queue, in my experience that I've played. So once we see those, we'll start to see more like target bans when it comes to different players and preferences. What are your thoughts on that, Humanist?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to get my man to nominate the draft. I'm not gonna lie. My thoughts.
No,
What? I'm sorry. What was the last part?
I was talking about the metas when it comes to the draft phase. I always see Reams and Black Feathers as the priority bans and picks. What about you?
Yeah, they're definitely a priority, I guess, in your picker band, depending if you're trying to pick it up or not. And we could see, like, on A side, you just let both go through, guarantee you're going to pick up one, counter out the other. Just make sure they're both banned out. PvP Trinity really likes his Kestrel, right?
He does. He is very strong Kestrel.
So I would expect Rogue to be aware of that. And they start off the bat, yeah, they're going to be letting some power picks through.
Oh, there we go. It looks like we have a Rona ban. PvP was able to pull a Rona out very successfully the other day on the VIS Challengers, so I don't see that as a surprise.
Rona was one of the picks that I think is like kind of like trying to solidify itself in the meta, but it's in response to a lot of like these melee bruisers clumping up. You see like also Alpha, a super strong pick. She just spins, builds up the breaking point so fast and just goes to town.
Oh, here we go. Looks like they have a Ream ban, and then they also have the Black Feather. Black Feather has gone through. And it makes sense that they would ban the Rona because Rona is always a very strong pick into a Black Feather to get those kills.
Yeah, definitely one of those picks that's been doing well. The Arden would be picked up early on here. Not really a big surprise. I think once people... I mean, Arden obviously strong in the update. Fits in really well, but people have been utilizing the Echo gauntlet so incredibly well.
Yeah, and the 2.9 changes to all the health has made him that much stronger of a support there. The Lyra ban, I think the Lyra ban was smart. Take away the Lyra. The Black Feather and Lyra combination is way too strong.
Have we seen Hammy playing Black Feather recently?
Not to my knowledge. So this could be Black Feather in the jungle as Sibs, but Hammy he's one of the top tier laners, and I think he could be able to actually successfully play Black Feather in this meta.
Oh, yeah.
We do have a Kestrel, which is definitely one of the strongest picks for PvP Trinity in 2.9 right now. He has so many wins, and even late game, as long as he can get that build, Kestrel can tear down turrets, tear down heroes, just instantly. And I think that's definitely a good pick for PvP. Now we're gonna see what they're gonna pick for their captain and their jungler here.
Yeah, for Sibs, I'm feeling like Sibsy kind of heroes left in the pool. We got our Alpha, Petal. Catherine will be picked up here for Evil. That'd be nice. Obviously, a good response to the Kestrel. And Alpha comes through, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a very strong dive composition coming from Rogue. I'd like to see something with a little bit more appeal for the jungler to at least keep PvP Trinity alive on that Kestrel for as long as they can. Here we go. We have a Cruel here. That's definitely going to be able to build enough stacks to weaken the enemies and have a little bit of crowd control with from Hell's Heart. So I think we're going to this is going to be a good matchup. I don't feel like either team has an edge in terms of actual advantages and disadvantages, but I think right now, I mean, whichever team can get that to the late game fastest, I think will win this game.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any word on Denominator where he is here?
Right here?
Ah, excellent, Denominator. All right, I'm gonna let you and Humanist take care of things as we get started with game 1.
Dangerous move there. Letting us run things here. But yeah, it looks we got the drafts out day. As DZ said, they're both pretty strong drafts. To me, I'm looking like looking at Rogue thinking it's going to be super important for them to be landing some nice silences before Vision can actually start using their abilities and like become durable.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Based on the draft that we have, you know, the Catherine, the Alpha, and the Blackfeather, obviously that's going to be Hammy in the lane on the weapon power Blackfeather. What we know is so good at scaling up those breaking point stacks. And then obviously Alpha, in the most recent patch, an incredibly durable tanky hero, able to get into the fights, and then when getting low on health can pop that termination protocol, presenting an even bigger threat. And then if the enemy is not able to drop her quick enough while in that infinite reboot, then she can get right back up and start going back to town.
Right. Then obviously you have that tool if you can throw Prime Directive where you think maybe the Kestrel has stealth towards. A lot of times you can pick her out of the invisibility there, so there's some chase potential a little bit. But obviously Catherine, incredible counter to the Kestrel as well, just throwing up that storm.
Game portion where Kestrel's just able to blow anybody on the front line up, she's going to get that distinct advantage. But like, as far as farming in the lane, PvP Trinity should be able to apply a decent amount of pressure that's going to prevent Hammy from getting all of his farmers. Here we go.
Oh, Hammy getting lit up. The Vanguard onto TiVo. TiVo stacking up and activating the Spectral Smite. A lot of damage and healing comes through. But a big Prime Directive comes in. Sibs is here. Sibs trying to find a kill. I think that's boots by TiVo to get himself out of there. Cause he'll throw the Vanguard onto PvP Trinity. God, there's so many syllables there. I'm just PvP. That's what we got. What do you call him?
PvP Trinity.
PvP. Yeah, I was calling P for now. No, I'm just kidding. PvP doing a good job. But down in the jungle, TiVo taking a bit of damage. He actually secures his mid there. And Rogue, they had 2. So a nice 0 vision.
Yeah, great rotation out of PvP Trinity there. They find a second kill onto Sibs, who now, coming up on the 5-minute mark, does not have his Aftershock completed yet. And that's going to be an important thing to make note of as we go forward. And now it's Evol up in the lane, getting some stacks by stunning up Kaz and PvP Trinity as frequently as possible. And this is incredibly smart. Obviously, that Catherine is going to want to be on the front line, blocking out the glimmer shots coming out of PvP Trinity. So the more natural armor that Evol can build up, the better off the side of Rogue is going to be in the late game and dealing with this Kestrel. Obviously, you know, going to be chasing him down with that Merciless Pursuit. He's going to be right up in his face, and he needs to be able to sustain that damage.
The cooldown on Kath's Stormguard is pretty much, it feels like to me, what Vision want to be fighting around as we get into like mid and late game scenarios. Do you see like any other like specific kind of timing, like as they're looking to fight?
Well, obviously, as far as Vision go, what they want to be looking out for, they need to be very cautious of the termination protocol coming out of Sibs and their positioning in those fights where he's doing so, because if you're allowing Sibs to get off a 3-man termination protocol, then you're going to be losing a huge chunk of health on all of your carries, as well as that Captain's going to take a bit as well. And not only the actual termination protocol, you have to be ready for that Prime Directive coming out, especially if Sibs gets a chance to build up any of those core overload stacks, because that's going to increase the damage that he's going to do with that Prime Directive. And even if he lands it onto Kaz, if TiVo and PvP Trinity are in the vicinity, that AoE attack can do massive damage spikes as well, and it's going to reposition him on the other side of Kaz, right in front of PvP Trinity, where he's going to want to be.
Right. That's absolutely going to devastate PvP if he gets hit by that. especially with some overload stacks now. Evil's there. He's got the Storm Guard, so a little bit of damage getting reflected back. Not a big deal. He's okay just holding the lane here. Hammy kind of pressed back against the turret, trying to get these last hits here best he can. But Sibs has made his way up. He has ultimate available. See if we're going to actually have a fight. Hammy jumps onto PvP. Active camo's down. He's going to move back, use the movement speed. He's got the healing flask, turns around, trying to get damage onto Sibs. But it's TiVo trading with Hammy. Weakness stacks down. There's your gauntlet out of cause. Oh, Hammy goes down with the Rose defensive. Tried to make it happen anyway. Vision, they're up 3-0, looking for more. Not going to find another kill. But they do have advantage here, Day. They can look to do whatever they want.
Yeah, they absolutely can, and it looks like they're trying to get some lane pressure here, but there's that prime directive coming out of Sibs.
And another active camo. They're going to find the stun there as well. PvP making some cheeky plays. Obviously, this is a hero that he's very well practiced on. During all of this, you wonder, is it just a distraction? TiVo, he wasted a bit of time. This whole time he wasted down on the gold miner. He'll now make his way back to lane, but it's just a little bit too late here. They jump right back in here. Big damage coming out. Termination protocol, kind of a swing and a miss there.
Yeah, I've actually seen this quite frequently on a lot of alphas. If you're going to use that termination protocol, because it does a burst of